The roots of global public opinion on Gaza. A significant portion of global public opinion has turned against Israel's military campaign in Gaza. To understand this shift, one must look beyond the Hamas attack of October 7, 2023, and consider the longer historical context and the ethical principles at stake. The conflict did not begin on October 7th. Its roots trace back to the establishment of Israel in 1948, an event Palestinians know as the Nakba, or catastrophe, which involved the displacement of hundreds of thousands. From this perspective, the ongoing Israeli occupation and settlement of Palestinian land are seen not as isolated issues, but as the foundational cause of the cycle of violence. For many observers, this history frames Israel's subsequent military response as part of a long-standing pattern of territorial expansion, rather than a singular act of self-defense. While Israel has the right to defend itself from attacks like October 7th, a key point of contention is the principle of proportionality in international law. Critics argue that the widespread bombardment of one of the most densely populated areas on Earth, with a high civilian casualty rate, constitutes a disproportionate use of force. The distinction between targeting Hamas militants and the collateral damage inflicted on civilians has become, for many, unacceptably blurred. This has led to accusations of collective punishment and has fueled the perception that the offensive exploits a security crisis to further long-term political objectives. This perception has triggered a profound ethical reckoning, particularly among younger generations and in nations traditionally aligned with Israel. They see a stark contradiction in Western governments, especially in the United States, providing the military and diplomatic support for a campaign that results in thousands of civilian deaths. For many, this creates a crisis of values. How can a pro-life ethic or a commitment to human rights be reconciled with the enablement of such extensive civilian casualties? Consequently, the Court of Global Public Opinion has delivered a verdict. Widespread protests from university campuses to city squares, particularly driven by young people and women, reflect a deep-seated revulsion against the images of destruction and suffering. This movement is not necessarily steeped in the deep-seated politics of the Middle East. Instead, it is often a raw, ethical response to the humanitarian catastrophe. It is a demand that basic human rights for Palestinian civilians be prioritized over entrenched geopolitical alliances. In countries like New Zealand, this has manifested as a generational clash, with young activists challenging their government's traditional diplomatic stance. They are not merely taking the law into their own hands, but using the tools of democracy, protest, advocacy, and dissent to hold their leaders to a different ethical standard. The message is clear. For a growing global populace, the defense of innocent life must transcend political and cultural divisions.